welcome to this special edition of Unscripted with JJ and Jamie. On this edition, we are at the Yacht and Beach Club Convention Center having our 2024 MVP annual conference.
I'm so excited. It's really going to be a good one. We have a lot in store.
We do. And, just reflecting back on our first conference was at Spring Mill State Park, and I think we had 18 people at that conference.
10 or 11 years ago?
I think it was 11. And we had our conference at Spring Mill State Park for 5 years, was it? I think it was 5 or 6 years, and we grew out of it. So then our first official contract with a bigger convention center was at Disneyland. And we went there, and then we went to Universal, then we went to Disney, then we went to Disney again, and then we skipped a year.
Yes.
Because we were supposed to be on a cruise and something happened, so we didn't get to go on that.
Correct.
Then we had last year was at the Contemporary, and this year we are at the Yacht and Beach Club where we were in 2020.
And it's good to do have a redo. Even though we have some great footage and great moments from the 2020 conference, it still was disrupted by, the start of the pandemic. So it's always good to come back and have a fresh redo.
This is a redo.
And we're going to make it a good one.
I am so excited. We have double the amount of people that we had in 2020. And it's amazing because so many people. And so we were March 12th through the 15th, 2020. So if you know your dates, you know that March 12th was the day that they announced that the parks were going to be closed.
Yes.
And I know that date because it's my birthday. And we were all at the ESPN restaurant when it was officially announced. Then the last day that the parks were going to be open was the last day of our conference, which was March 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget Joanne Delgin from Disney. She came
Yes.
in it was the last day, and they were doing a Disney Institute for all the agents that were there. And I remember her saying, how many people do you think are going to show up? Because she said, we can rearrange the tables to where it doesn't look like it's empty. And I said, I honestly have no idea because I'm shocked that people are still here.
Yes.
And I think we had 20 that went home early. Like we only had 20 agents that left early, and everybody showed up. And everybody, I think back at those times, and people said they were so sorry that our conference was going on and it was disrupted. But I said we couldn't have been at a better spot with our agents.
Yes, a better spot with our agents and with all the leaders from the industry.
Holy cow.
We went through this together, so we were getting firsthand information as it was happening.
Right. So we had Carnival, Royal, Norwegian, Dr. Goldsby, Darren and Valerie Cockrell were here as guests, keynote speakers. Lee Cockrell even showed up and said, hey, what do you need me to do? And we said, can you speak to our team leaders to just kind of prepare them? Because Lee was here leading Walt Disney World when 9/11 happened.
Correct.
And I said, if you can just share that story and how this too shall pass, but it's going to get bumpy before it gets better. Because there was just something that was telling us this is going to get bumpy before it gets better. And so everybody just we joined forces, and Bonnie Blaze was there, AKA Sheila.
Yes.
She was there. It was there was something about closing down Disney with some of our top agents and our closest friends.
And, I'm glad that we can do this over again because what I really remember was the achievement levels of the advisors.
Right.
And they were waiting for that moment to walk across the stage, and receive their achievements. And, we had to cancel that part of our conference. So this makes it really special. That's why this year, at conference, we did a grand stage.
Oh, wow. Boy, did we ever do.
And
this was your idea, and you're like, hey, I want this sleek, slick, and it's just so nice.
This is their special moment. So I wanted it to come across like the Grammys, the Emmys, the Oscars, and all those, big time awards.
For the rock stars that they are.
Absolutely.
So our theme is World Tour. So one of the things, I hope nobody's upset or disappointed that we don't have like a big rock, concert going on. I would love to.
We do have a rock star that's
Yeah,
going to
we
be
do
here.
have a rock star that's going to be showing up, but the world tour really was the conception of the world tour was our agents are now selling all around the world. They're selling Europe, Asia, Antarctica, Iceland. They're, even with cruising, like we can almost send anybody anywhere they want to go with Adventures by Disney, the cruises, some of the tour lines that we work with. And so we've really broadened, we've changed a lot since our Spring Mill
Hmm.
days. We were very Disney focused. We still are Disney focused, but we've expanded, and that's where we came up with the world tour
Well,
theme.
and not only that, when you look at sports, you look at Hollywood, you look at sports, you look at travel, you look at a lot of different industries. A lot of industries have what is considered to be world tours or world
Hmm.
products and things
Yeah,
like that. And we have
yeah.
entrepreneurs that scattered around all over the place. So we wanted to walk them through and teach them how to be, strong entrepreneurs,
Globally.
globally.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think that it's just going to be a lot of fun. We've seen a few of the agents checking in,
Yes.
and it's just going to be a really, really good time.
So
We have,
what's your favorite part going to be?
oh man, I have so many favorite. I tell you what, the least thing I'm looking forward to is my speaking part. As for somebody that talks all the time, I get really bad anxiety of the thought of speaking to large crowds. And I'm doing a panel. I'm showing my weaknesses here, but I'm doing a panel for the general session with
Yes.
some of our agents that I've asked if they would do a panel, because a lot of times people are like, what are the top agents doing? And I
Yes.
want the message to be, no one's business looks the same as somebody else. Like,
Exactly.
you have to figure out what works for you.
Exactly.
And we don't have a recipe to a one size fits all, because like what works for me isn't going to work for somebody else, because
Yes.
and we're also in what whenever I was an agent, what that would have looked like 10 years ago would look so much different now that we have a grandchild.
Yeah.
You evolve. And I went through the stage where, I was a caretaker for my mom, and our agents are no different. And we've all went through these stages of life. So my messaging with having the panel is, we have two people that has a full-time job, and
Yeah.
then we have two people that do this full-time. Well,
Oh,
actually all four of them do it full-time.
so almost like don't replicate
Or don't
someone's
copy. Yeah.
someone's business, just like when someone copies
Hmm.
a song
Yeah.
or it's redone,
Yeah.
most of the time it's not as good as the first. Or when there's a movie
Hmm.
that gets remade,
Hmm.
most of the time it's not as good as the first.
Yeah.
So be original,
Right.
because everybody's different. Everybody has not the same time, not
Right.
the same passion and
Yeah.
energy,
Family makeup,
family makeup,
responsibilities.
yeah, not the same talents, responsibilities, all of those things. So each person is unique in themselves. So,
100%.
do what works for you.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that, but I'm also nervous. And but that's every year. Like every year I get anxious. I'm excited, like you said, to let the agents get their awards. Like that's always such a big
Yes.
that's a big night for everybody. And I know that some of our agents they've been a little bit nervous about, maybe, did they don't know if they
And
achieved.
there are some big awards this
There
year.
actually, we have one award that that
Don't let it
I'm
out.
not going to let the cat out of the bag, but it is an award that has never been given to any MVP, and as far as I know, to any travel agency in the industry.
Yes,
And so I think it's pretty impressive and it's pretty exciting. And
absolutely.
I'm excited about that. I know the recipient of that. She gets anxious and nervous,
She does.
like I do a little bit, and I think she'll be okay. But I'm excited for her.
I
I
am
think it'll
too.
be pretty cool.
So that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah,
Number one is to see everybody receive their awards
yeah.
for the achievements that they have accomplished. Number two is the lineup. I
Oh
think the
wow.
lineup of people that's going to be speaking, that's going to be talking to them, there's some real special people that we've
Hmm.
been wanting to have here
Yeah,
for a while that's going to come for the first time, and the new vendors
yeah.
that's going to be here. So I'm excited to see what the advisors think of the new products that
Hmm.
we are now put into the portfolio,
Right.
and just to get their feedback. So,
Yeah, I'm super excited. Our lineup it's a powerhouse.
yes,
And normally we don't put the names, since COVID, like I really don't like to put the names of who the speakers are in the event of something happens.
yes,
This year I noticed that we did it. And
yes.
so we're trying something new and that's exciting. But I'm excited about this powerhouse of speakers that we have.
I think, well, not only are they powerhouses, they are the leaders in the industry.
Yeah.
That's what really makes them
And these
powerful.
are the people that we're meeting with when, we make decisions for MVP. Because I think a lot of times people, they don't really understand what we do or what our roles are here at MVP. But a lot of times it's to meet with these top executives and just kind of brainstorm like what does the future look like for MVP? Because their success is our success. Our success is their success, which is the agent's success. The agent's success is all of our success. And I have that saying, I eat, you eat, we eat.
Yeah.
And so, I know like Scott Vercumba and Steve Smith, they'll both be here and they have been on this journey with us since the beginning. And they are the only two that has been from the very, very, very beginning of Spring Mill. And Scott's with Carnival Cruise Line and he just took a new leadership role. And he has 5 accounts and he fought for ours, like, because we wasn't really in his
Category.
in that new leadership role that he took, we wasn't falling under that umbrella, and he fought to have us. And so, along with that comes the pressure to give him the numbers that he needs.
Which means a lot. That means that he believes in us.
Yes.
Each and every vendor that's here, they believe in us. They depend on us as much as we depend on them to provide, a great product that we can actually put our guests in, and have them experience. They believe in us. They need us just like we need them. When they go and they have their strategic meetings and they set the goals for, the year, short-term, long-term goals, they look at all of their accounts.
Right.
And they figure out, okay, from this account, what we expect to get.
Yeah.
They're not just here because we're having a conference. They're here because they believe that we are a part of their business.
And there's a lot to be said about that. And I think that our agents, our MVPs, really are just so lucky to have these people that are advocates for them. Like we advocate for them, but also our vendors advocate for them. And I think this conference is just like every year I always say our conference it's a show.
Yes.
Like it's a show for sure.
Yes.
Like it's not a typical boring conference. Like it's a show. But I think with our
It's going to be
agents,
loud.
it's always loud. It's always loud.
It's going to be very educational.
Yeah.
It's going to be, fun. It's going to be learning. It's going to be giveaways.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of things.
It is. So I think that with all of that being said, I think that our agents, I kind of, to somebody that's new, that's not familiar with MVP, I say our conference is like a combination of a show but a pep rally. So for somebody that doesn't really understand the wave season's kind of all year now, but the wave season in the travel industry was traditionally January, February, March. It's when, it's after Christmas and people are excited to, get their vacations booked. So traditionally,
yes,
in the past, January, February, March
correct,
were what they call the wave season. And so what we found in booking our conference is things a long time ago when we decided this. It's actually changed. Like COVID evolved.
Typically slowed down.
It slowed down. So
going into the middle of March.
Yeah.
Middle to end of March.
So this was like a pep rally to get them moving and shaking again, to get them to like May or June, which is when the next year promotions came out. And then it got them to like the October.
Always strategic.
It was always strategic.
Always strategic to help them get through the year and have something to talk about all the time. So the first part, was the wave season. The second part was our conference. The third part was the new packages. And then you get into the fourth part of the year, the last quarter, and that's when you get some of the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas comes in. Then you're back to the wave season.
Now you're back to the wave season.
So it was always strategic.
It
when
was.
we did that. Yes.
But COVID changed everything. And the good thing about you and I, and we've talked about this before, and even with Dr. Goldsby, we talked about it, that um, everything has changed. Everything has shifted. Everything. It's like now it's 12 months of the wave season. Every month is the wave season. And that's good. That's good for our business. It's good for our agents' business. It's good for our vendors.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, Disney just released their 2025
Mm-hmm.
packages,
Yes.
which none of us saw it coming because it was about 3 months early.
Yes.
But with that, you got to be ready to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And what we were talking about earlier is I don't like to set out 12-month strategies. And you guys talked about it's okay if things don't happen, because I always feel like if I say something's going to happen, it needs to happen. And you guys said it's okay. It's
It's
just
okay.
kind of
You got to
giving the
be able to
vision of
pivot.
that you're thinking forward, you're thinking of the future. But I think of just this year, we're in the third month. We're having record months. Our agents are blowing it out of the park. We have two that we were looking, two of them that has already in the first 24 days of the month of March hit crazy numbers
Mm-hmm.
that
But that all goes back to, like you said, what happened during the COVID days? What has social media done to the industry?
Mhm.
What worked back then is not what's working now
Correct.
today. So, there have been some adjustments and some changing to the way people approach their
Right.
business, the way they market their business. Where then we used to book packages out as far as,
Oh, like 16
six,
months.
16 months, 12 months, 16 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're shorter packages. And I think one of the things that COVID did, at that point, no one could travel.
Mm-hmm.
And those resilient travels came out of COVID saying, you know what? You are not going to be able to tell me I can't
Right.
travel anymore. Let me
I'm
show
doing
you.
what?
I'm going to travel even more. I'm going
Yeah.
to travel this month. I'm going to travel next month. I'm going to travel the following month. And we've identified, guests that was traveling once or twice a year with
Mm-hmm.
us are now traveling 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the same year.
Mm. Yeah. The travel industry has definitely changed. And I feel like us having a really good relationship with all of our vendors. We have some really good vendor partners. Jody Boehner, she just, speaking of promotions, like she just got a new promotion, but her team, like we have some amazing people at Disney, Jody, Jack, Steve at Universal, Brian, Tom, Kathy, Lisa from Norwegian, Vicky Freed and her team over at Royal Caribbean, Adolfo and his team, which Scott Bacrumba falls under that.
Jackie, Ray,
Right.
at
Oh my gosh. Like
LG,
Jackie. I
you
love
know,
Jackie and Ray. And they started a
Carlos
kindness
at Pleasant
campaign.
Holidays.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And a couple new ones
a
that's
couple
coming
of
in.
new ones that I'm not I've met, but I don't really know them as well.
Yeah.
But I think
Maryland and Classic, and
oh,
we can just
everybody
keep
loves
going. We can just
Maryland.
keep going.
Yeah. And I think of Jackie and Ray, and I'm glad you brought them up because like they literally last year started a kindness campaign.
Hmm.
Like they literally, so they're with Apple Leisure Groups, and is that
Yes.
correct? Because I know that there was a like uh, Hyatt
Hyatt's
bought
taking
them
over.
out,
Yes.
but so Jackie and Ray from Apple Leisure Groups are literally amazing. And to build a campaign over kindness,
Hmm.
and when they were doing this program, they reached out to us, and I just feel like we're such a, because I love Disney through and through, but I love our other vendors too. And when Jackie reached out to us and told us what she was doing, I was like, I love that. Like these are good people. Like our vendors are good people, and I love what I do. I love the people we work with, and I just feel so blessed to be in an industry that people need our help.
Hmm.
And just it's amazing.
Well, it's not extremely difficult to be nice and kind.
Well,
You know,
sometimes it is, but
well, not for me. How's that?
yeah. Well,
Okay,
sometimes
to
for
be
me it's
nice and
hard,
kind. And we had
and I'm
an
joking.
advisor that reached out a couple of days ago. One of the advisors that's blowing it out of the water. And do you remember what her comment was?
She said that back in 2019 that you sat down with her at one of the team trainings and you were telling her and some other people like what the potential with this job is. And she thought you were insane.
Mm-hmm.
She thought there's no way on the planet. And not only is she doing what you said, it's 3 times bigger
Yeah.
than what you said.
Yeah.
And she's like, thank you for believing in me.
Yes.
When she said it about you,
Yes.
she went, thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Yeah. And this is where
that's what you did,
this
JJ
is where
Eubank.
this is where we double team. Her comment the other day was, I didn't realize the power of being kind.
Oh, that
And
was a different
positive.
agent. Oh,
Absolutely.
that was actually a different agent.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
was talking about a different agent. So
Yes.
yeah, that one that you're
So
talking
we
about.
get a lot of
Yeah.
feedback from
Yeah,
advisors
I
and
missed
agents and
you
calls.
you tossed me a ball and I missed it. But there's two amazing stories in that. The one that I
Yes.
just told, but then the one is another one of our agents that's blowing it out of the park.
Mhm.
And she said something in the realm of, you always said be kind, but actually there's like
Her business
her
is
business
skyrocketing
and I said, but yeah,
because she's
but I said,
kind.
never be kind because of what, like the
No.
payoff. Just be kind. Like, it's not
Yes.
hard. Be kind. Do the right thing. And it just, I don't know how, but it happens.
Mhm.
It just happens. You do the right thing. You treat people right. And like I said, I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. I've had to do some accepting that, but it doesn't mean that I literally wake up every day, wanting to be kind. And I think that is, that's powerful. And I don't do it because, it's gonna work, or I'm gonna get this. Like, you just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
And so we have stories of agents after stories. And so that's what I'm looking forward to here at the 2024 MVP conference. I'm looking forward to seeing all of our agents, and I'm looking forward to seeing all their smiling faces, and I'm
Yes.
looking forward to seeing their smiles when they get their awards, and hear their stories, and watch them
Yes.
hug each other, because it's not
Yeah.
just us. Like, they love each other. And I
No,
said
we're
that, I
going to
think, in the
celebrate
20
with them. Yes.
in the 2020 conference, we did a podcast with Dan Cockrell, and I said, what I love about these agents is they love each other.
Yes.
And I think that's in one of the videos that we have, is where I'm saying, and that hasn't changed since 2020.
Right.
I think we've all grown a lot,
Mhm.
and our friends some of the friends may have changed. We may have grown closer to some and further away from others, but the fact of the matter is our mission is still the same, our vision's still the same, and that is do the right thing, kindness, positivity, and just encouraging one another. Because in a world where we're torn down, in a world where we're always told we're not good enough, we can be good enough.
Yes. Now, the one thing that concerns me about having a conference like this and a big conference like this is, I want to spend a lot of time with each and every one of them. I wish I could give them all of my time during conference, but it's such a busy time, and we're running from one place to the other place, to own the stage, to trying to meet with the vendor. But I do really cherish finding those, 30 seconds, those minutes that I can, chat with an advisor, and they can tell me how wonderful their business is doing, or how how their lives have changed, and or they tell me about their kids and their family. I do really cherish those moments.
I do too. And I think, like, one of the things we do, because the conference it's grown way bigger than Spring Mill, like, but one of the things we do is we do smaller agent education opportunities, because we do have an office here in Orlando. And so this summer we have some planned out.
And that's what I'm looking forward to.
And
All those advisors that came to those agent opportunity events, I want to hear from them what has happened in their business since
right.
attending.
Yeah.
I know because
Oh.
I've seen the numbers. So now I want to hear it from them.
And what do we say? Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
They don't lie. And do their campaigns, do their things like that. Numbers don't lie.
Yes.
So, with all of that being said, it's time for us to go to dinner. And so we need to wrap this up. So I'm excited. And JJ, we're a few minutes away from having our first dinner with our top producers this year. It's the first time we've done a meal like this. And I just can't wait for to share with our friends more of our conference, which can be found on our social media channels.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Unscripted with JJ and Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Unscripted with JJ and Jamie Eubanks. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thanks again.